So I told you guys a few days ago about Chief Keef's return to Chicago, nearly going left, and now footage of two brutal beatings have surfaced from the Summer Smash. It was a Summer Smash for real. And apparently what we're actually seeing is a classic Chicago gang war that has been reignited in the worst possible way. Just when Chief Keef and G Herbo were bringing the love back to Chicago, we're now seeing a whole gang war kick off the back of it. So I'm going to break it all down to you in this video with the new footage that's come out and some of the backstory that's been going on. But let me tell you what this is all about. Basically, on one side, it makes me sad to even have to say this, but on one side, you've got Chief Keef, right? His crew has evolved a lot over the years. He used to be O-Block, bang, bang, until Boss Top and the Diaper Bandits, snaked him, robbed him. King Von was an absolute awful... King Von and Boss Top and T-Roy were awful friends to Chief Keef. They snaked him, all right? So he basically said, all right, cool. I'm locked in with Front Street then. Forget about O-Block. I'm cool with Front Street. Not only Front Street, but he's also got connections with other crews, the Four Corner Hustlers out west, and also some guys from the No Limit gang from over in Terrortown, which is usually G Herbo's crew. Now, Chief Keef has kind of built up his crew. I'm not going to say they're a gang because he's far away from the gang. He's 10, 12 years removed from the gang conflicts of Chicago. But he's built up his crew, which is the Glow Gang, or, there's some guys over there calling themselves the Four Corner Glow Gang. That's kind of making it a little bit more street, maybe more than it needs to be. But really, Chief Keef's got this whole new crew. He don't need to deal with any of that nonsense. But here's the problem. Some of his Glow crew are affiliated with the No Limit gang. That brings us to G Herbo. Now, I did a whole 3-hour documentary about that years ago, all about No Limit, or NLMB, the No Limit Muskegon Boys. They're a historic gang from a very dangerous area in Chicago called Terrortown. They're all from around 79th and Essex. Very, very well known. All right, look, I know my stuff, all right? This is all from memory. But basically, No Limit, the NLMB, the No Limit Muskegon Boys, there's unfortunately been a lot of internal conflicts between these groups. Part of it popped off when, a No Limit general called Cairo did an interview and he said G Herbo didn't look out for none of the guys. But things really, really got bad when, an older No Limit veteran called J-Doggy, came out of jail. And there was talks that, some of the older members weren't rocking with how the youngers had been dealing with things. Someone that had been locked up for like 9 or 10 years. And then there was talk that someone was going to they were banning G Herbo from the block and he wasn't allowed to come back to No Limit. Then he came back and filmed a music video. There were all types of shenanigans going on. And then unfortunately, there was basically some kind of altercation in an alleyway where there was a fight. This led to guns being drawn and that guy J-Dog ended up getting killed. That is all an alleged internal conflict, and that's unfortunately broken No Limit into two parts. It's two sides. There's sort of the traditional, more old school side with some of the older guys that maybe did some time, came out, they was running the block back in the day. And then the new crazy wild crash out shorties, some of them going by Drench Gang. That's the situation, all right? That's why when backstage at the Chief Keef show, we're seeing people getting the brakes beaten off of them. What that is that some of the No Limits that are cool with Chief Keef's Glow Gang bumping into some of the No Limits that are cool with G Herbo's, the original No Limits, and they not seeing eye to eye. They meeting at Summer Smash, and unfortunately ruining the whole situation for everybody, because really this was supposed to be something positive. And the fact that Chief Keef and G Herbo are reuniting and coming out on stage like that together, that should have been a great moment for the city, but it wasn't. All right, it led to fisticuffs at dawn. So I'm going to break it all down to you, okay? So this is kind of some scenes from the Summer Smash, and it was lit, okay? It was absolutely lit. It was rocking, okay? It was booming, all right? They had the stage turn. Many members from the streets was out there. Chief Keef, you can't say Chief Keef don't give back. He pulled back up to Chicago, and he had a lot of people up on there, okay? He had all kind of BDs, all right? All kind of NLMBs, all kind of four CHs, all right? There was a lot going on. All right, there was a lot going on. There were some big people on stage, and there was some big people in the back too. All right, Chief Keef in there with the family. He bringing all of his guys out. All right, he bringing all of his guys out. So, what I'm saying, he rolling deep with the crew, with some of the legendary generals. What I'm saying, some of the people that if you know your stuff, you know your stuff. All right. So here's the problem. Okay, here's where it all starts getting a little bit shifty and iffy. Of course, you had Mr. Perfect Attendance Doo-Wop in attendance, all right? He was in the building, formerly known as 60 Shot Doo-Wop, right? So you know, even though everything is all clean now, but he's not somebody to mess with. All right. And let's see here. They're saying Glow Gang, Front Street, Lamron, NLMB, Four Corner Glow Gang. Locked in. All right. For real. Okay. A lot of different generations from the streets. But also, you had the new generation of No Limit. And one of the most popular people from the new generation of No Limit is Big Op. Big Drench Gang. He was on stage with Chief Keef. People were thinking, what on earth? How is this even happening? And so G, Herbo, and Chief Keef take the stage together, all right? Herbo and Keef performing together. Now, that's a legendary sight. I'm not going to lie. It ain't a scary sight. That's a legendary sight. This is history. And it's such a shame that these bad vibes ended up kind of bringing the tone down a little bit. But then you had Mainski, all right? Mainski, his attendance, all right? This was a little bit problematic, okay? The rumor was that Mainski got his chain taken during an altercation. All right. This was going around days ago. They said, I heard Mainski got his chain took. What the F going on? They're saying, check EBK Juvie. He be knowing all the characters. There ain't much out there yet. But yeah, Chains, they saying Chains getting took. All right. Chains getting, hey, that's what they saying. That's what they say. Okay. So some of the people who were actually spreading this rumor were actually other NLMB kind of members and affiliates, okay? So EBK Juvie is obviously somebody that is got a lot to say, all right? But here's the thing. He was posting these cryptic messages on Instagram saying, so that makes it LA and Chicago, crying face. Now, allegedly, that's him. He's referring to chain snatching. So there was some footage there, but there's more footage that's come out. And I'm going to have to be careful. I probably can't show you the footage, but I can probably show you some stills. But basically, because No Limit is having this massive internal beef, it unfortunately spilled out backstage at the Summer Smash. And here's the problem. As you can see here, No Limit Dolo commenting, someone in Chicago getting clapped in a few days. Must ain't learned from J Doggy, but man, Mainski, get on your shit, bro. What the F you doing? So, yeah, not great. All right. So, at the time these posts are going around, this is 5 days ago. So on Reddit, 6 days ago from now, right? So what's that, like the 12th or the 13th? They said, I heard Mainski got his chain took. I heard Mainski got his what's going on? All right. And then the day after that, or pretty much the same day, EBK Juvie talking about makes LA and Chicago. But these were just rumors. We didn't know. But people on Reddit, people on Reddit were starting to put two and two together. Okay. Basically, Chief Keef posted a photo or a video clip after the festival that showed Mainski peacefully asleep on a private jet. And he had all of his jewelry intact. He was hugging his lean cup. So it seemed from this, the rumors were not true. He had his chain still there. And they were saying, Mainski still intact. His chain is still intact after the allegations circulated. He got his chain took at the Summer Smash. People saying he got took in 2 different states. They're saying his cap never got took. Juvie spreading cap. But now, the whole video of the alleged incident has dropped. And it looks like Mainski was, in fact, not doing too good. All right? So, I can't play you the video, but there is a video going around of somebody, they're alleging is G-Money from No Limit, throwing big punches at Mainski. I can't play you the video. Go and look up the video in your own time if you want to see it. But this is just a still image. And they're saying G-Money jumping in with the big punch, all right? Now, here's the thing. 2 videos came out. And I'll be real with you. Look, it's all well and good, like, people snaking, like, he's swinging from behind and shit, all right? This was low-key was a snake move. And then also, you in settings where this ain't even supposed to be going down. So, it's not looking too good, right? So 2 videos dropped. Shout out to Chirac Humor on Instagram. They were the first to actually drop these videos. And again, I'm not going to play you the video, the moving video, but what I can do is maybe unpause it and show you some other parts. But basically, all right, they're saying No Limit, G-Money and others would jump in Mainski. So he swings on him a couple times, and it's not even like, he ain't even giving him a fair one. He's not even facing him. There's hella people around. So this looks like security's trying to hold him, so he can't even defend himself. And then G-Money just swinging, people holding him back. He doing snake punches. He ain't even punching quick, right? And so, you know, it's unfortunately, it was snaky, to be honest with you. It was snaky. It wasn't like you ain't get a fair one. It ain't a fair fade. You in a setting where you shouldn't even be going off on somebody like this. Look, this is a still image. I'm not showing you it, all right? But what you can see, he's reaching over to punch him. So security's grabbing Mainsky. He ain't even able to defend himself. He about to get punched in the back of the head. That's an illegal blow in boxing. This ain't no fair one. So look, everybody's scuffling. Everybody's pulling each other away. The people are getting involved. It's a mess. It's chaos. And it was a really unfair fight, to be honest with you. It's really unfair the way this went down. So you don't see it, but he's trying to get his lick back, and then people are holding him back. If there's one thing I hate more than an out-of-control, dangerous street fight, it's like, you know when you see like hysterical women at the street fight trying to hold their man back, you's making it harder for him to defend himself. These chicks that will grab you from behind on some shit like, oh no, stop, it's not worth it. These chicks will be your demise because you can't defend yourself. But then came part 2. So the next slide in part 2, and again, I can't show you this because this one's even more violent, okay? But what this one is a whole bunch of the no limbs from Mainsky's side jumping G Money. And from what I'm hearing and from what I'm kind of seeing, they knocked him unconscious and kept on booting his head on the ground like this was goddamn another game in the World Cup that I went to see today. Shout out to England one time, but still, all right? And even the cops was right. That's a cop right there, all right? You see this punch coming here, locked and loaded. All right. So G Money got absolutely just like they're just kicking his head around like a soccer ball at this point. OK, I can't show you, but the cops are right there. And as you see in a minute, even though the cops are there, OK, they still whooping him. So you can't see, but he's sort of on the floor off screen. Everybody's jumping, everyone's kicking him. It's like it was World Cup 2026 in there. OK. And they just went crazy. The cops end up getting involved. They can't even stop it. This no limit business. They got absolutely no way of stopping this. So that he's on the ground here. You can't see him now because everyone's in the way. But the police are right here trying to break it up. And fools are still running in, trying to get a little free kick, trying to score a little penalty. So, and again, I can't show you, but seconds before where I've paused it here, he's laid out on the ground, what looks like unconscious, motionless, lifeless. He's looking a lot worse than Mainsky was looking in the last clip. And I'm not going to lie, look, I don't want to put myself in street business, but it's a little bit late for that, isn't it? Come on, people, you know what I do. But like, this is instant karma, okay? What goes around comes around. He was throwing snake shots to the back of someone's head. He was putting out all that energy. Next thing you know, his head's on the ground getting kicked like a soccer ball, right? Back and forth like it's USA versus Mexico. So I don't know what preceded the first beatdown, and obviously there's a civil war going on with No Limit right now, but really he snaked somebody and got snaked in even worse way. This was karma. Karma came back around. He kind of deserved this by the looks of it. Just based on the clips that I've seen, it looked like he actually deserved it. So here's the thing, okay? I can't show you too much, all right? But basically G Money, the guy who is on the ground unconscious just off screen here, all right, who started this in the last clip, he was thinking it was cool to punch somebody in the back of the head while they're getting restrained by security. Now he's getting... his lifeless body is being rained on by a hail of kicks, and the police can't even stop it happening. This situation is really bad. And this... G Money is Lil Bibby's brother, okay? This is like a serious guy from the history of No Limit that's very, very important. So this is a very, very serious internal beef, and the way this is all going down is just out of control. So here's the thing, okay? I gotta be careful what I show you here, but this is a specific image, still image from that scuffle that I'm gonna show you, okay? So what's kind of crazy about this is you can actually see Chief Keef's good friend, Main in the green pants here, who is actually part of the West Side, you know, the out West gang in Chicago, the Four Corner Hustlers, or, you know, some of them go by the Four Corner Glow now. I don't think Glow's any kind of gang. Glow gang's not really a gang, okay? That's a movement, all right? But the Four Corner Hustlers out West, they're some of the most dangerous gangsters you could ever... They're some of the most dangerous gangsters in Chicago you ain't never heard about, okay? And they're saying on Reddit, okay, that apparently the main guy beating G Money and putting him on the ground and putting him to sleep in this video was actually a friend of Main called Scooter Glow. So again, I think I can show you... I'm hoping I can show you this because this is before violence actually takes place, moments before. But as you can see, they're saying that this is Scooter Glow cocking back and basically about to lay the first punch on G Money. Notably, right in front of a cop. That's a cop. They getting busy right in front of the cops. Chief Keef known for shooting out in front of the police, shooting at the police. And now his crew, they out here knocking fools out in front of the cops. This is crazy. Okay, so everybody's giving him his props on Reddit now. They're saying he knocked G Money the F out. That's him. All right. They're saying he did all the work by himself. All them other dudes were just overkill. They're saying he's the one who put the work in. All right. And this is him with Chief Keef at the festival right before the fights. He's wearing the same cap and the same red shoes that we've seen in this clip. All right. Sorry, Detective Traplaw Ross on the case. Unfortunately for you guys, that's the same Jordans. There's some, what are they, Jordan 4s? I used to be a sneaker guy back in the day. So, you know, you can say I'm the police, but like y'all got pictures out. You in the same fit. What's that camo cap? Is it a Supreme camo box logo? Yeah. Yeah, that's you. Yeah, that's you. That's you. Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. That's Scooter. All right, Scooter Glow. So he's definitely earned himself a name, you know, off the back of that. Okay, so basically everyone's saying he did all the work by himself. He's the one who put in work. He's the one who did that. And people are saying, watch how it turns out. I'll give it a month maximum. Somebody going to come up missing. And they're saying if something happened, then it happened. Them Four Corner dudes have been on that. They're saying, bro, Four Corner Glow just got lit this week. Wasn't nobody saying that last year? They're saying, okay, what the F does being social media lit have to do with any of it? Them dudes got real street cred, and you just heard about Four Corner this week. All right? They're saying you got knocked out by a dude with a loose hat. They're saying W Mans. People saying W Mans, you think this is a game? They said, nah, he's saying W for getting back from main ski. What's wrong with that? They're treating life like an anime show. We ain't treating it like an anime show, but Mainsky got snaked. He got snaked. All right. And Mainsky got snaked by G Money, and then G Money got done dirty in the worst way. Okay. I'm not condoning it. Both sides. This shouldn't happen. This shouldn't be allowed to happen. It's really unfortunate that this even did happen. Okay. But that's the situation we're in now. So they're saying Shorty Mob are going to troll the F out of Big Op. And, you know, and the Drench Gang and all of them saying, don't let Lil Nas get free. Saying Lil Nas finna go on a Big Op slander free. So obviously you kind of got Shorty Mob, Drench Gang, all the young generation of No Limit are just going to war, right? People saying, not true. Y'all forgot his father home. He gonna beat his son ass. You know Lil Herb sent that bread up already. G Gill on Herb's side. He about to beat all of them dudes' asses. So go to jail when your son and kid come home. Then when he up a few souls, you think about you telling them what to do is crazy. That's a grown man that now. They're saying exactly what the F dude talking about. So basically they're saying G Gill is like one of the big OGs, one of the pioneers of No Limit like decades ago. He just got home from jail. I'm going to show you the picture. I'm a No Limitologist. I'm not going to lie to you, okay? G Gill, No Limit, Reddit. So basically, right? This is OG. This is 4 years ago. This is OG G Gill, one of the founders and early leaders of No Limit, now known as No Limit, the Muskegon Boys. G Herbo's big homie. This is basically the godfather of No Limit, right? G Gill, all right? So, he just got out of jail. He was in the feds since 2011 for drug charges, and he's the father of Lil Nas from Shorty Mob. And if you now have that context for the comments that we was just reading, okay? They saying that his son, Lil Nas, all right, while his dad, the godfather of this shit, G Gill has been in jail, Lil Nas out here catching all the hats. He up a few souls. And so they saying his dad ain't about to tell him what to do. But his dad, the real deal, real big dog OG, one of the founders of No Limit, okay? So this is serious. Meanwhile, you know, you got all of this going on, right? They're saying Wild from Boy, Wild from Boy from Four Corner Hustlers, if you remember him for 2014 days. Bro had the tap before 21, him and Fredo. Said Savage had that tap in his face since the early 2010s, and it's a knife, not a T. So damn, now it's No Limit. It's Glow Limit versus the Muskegon Boys. Damn. It's saying he got his hat too sick. It says, hate to see it. This all started because one of their young'uns, J-Dog, gave his 2 cents on what they should have done in their hood with certain individuals having it like that. Shake my head. Certain individuals possibly being G Herbo. As saying he snuck him. If you're going to be honest about the situation, I can knock you out if I swing from behind you and you ain't see nothing. And saying G Money did the same shit to Mainsky and didn't knock him out. And then it bounced right back. That karma, that boomerang came right back around and hit him upside the head. It said he barely grazed his head. Even Tyson said the punches that knock you out are the ones you don't see coming. It said it snuck him how he's literally grabbing G Money by the shirt before knocking him the F out. Snuck him how? He literally grabbing G Money by the shirt before knocking him the F out. Y'all see one person say something and then just run with it. If you face to face, that's not a sneak. You got to see that coming. Who the F going to sit there and warn you before throwing a punch? Said, how can you get snuck if you started it? They're funny as hell, bro. He was clearly knocked out before it even started, and all you could see is Scooter and G Money get knocked out before them dudes even touched him. They said G Money was already slept before the punch. They was brawling. He says they ain't faced. Let me see if I can show you this. Hang on. So people are saying he was already falling. I'm not sure. Maybe he was falling. You can't tell if he was unconscious. So G Money's already falling when the video starts, which means we didn't even get to see the beginning of the fight. People are making some good points. They're saying ain't no sneaking a dude. They started it. You supposed to be on point. Said G Money, his brother, and Lil Los was all jumping Mainski though. They're saying exactly. Dudes ain't said nothing about that though. He said, you know, Mainski rotten and went against Lil Jeff Big Brother, so they don't like him. He says, bro, Mainski's the only dude that got snuck. You can't get snuck, and you know you just sent some shit up. You know what's going on. That's a fact. That's a fact. You can't get snuck. You just snuck somebody, so you know the game is on. You need to be on point. Said it's really crazy watching all this shit go down, and MF say the drill scene is dead. All right, they're saying this. Listen, it's not dead today. This is popping. It's very much alive. The scene is alive. So all this shit weird as hell. I wonder what caused this BS. Now how it's gonna play out. It is gonna play out violently, unfortunately. It says he snuck him and they didn't have shit Rondo with it. Y'all just on their side because they're Sosa's homies. They're saying he ain't sneak G Money. He literally in front of him and then he hit him with a Hadouken. And they're saying not one-on-one though. Sorry ass post. All right. So this is very, very controversial. Right. So 16 shot and visuals, obviously a legendary Chicago, journalist, reporter, interviewer. I've met 16 shot a couple times, man. It's been a while since we tapped in, but you know, he been doing his thing and he was talking about this. And I believe even on this post that was going around on this one, he said, I'm still lying. So 16 shot had said that this happened a while ago and people didn't believe him, which is kind of crazy, right? But basically, this is kind of him giving his side. It says G Money and Lil Hot jumped Mainski with GB in full corner glow and got back and knocked out G Money and beat White Sean and took AMF's chain and nearly kidnapped him. So AMF Visual is one of the most hot music video directors, video guys in Chicago. We've done a lot of stuff with Lil Jeff and them. All right, they're saying he got his chain took and he's just a video guy. He was with the wrong people that day.
So this is the part I didn't explain to y'all, and you probably ain't gonna understand it from the video. Not only did that situation happen with Mainski, G Money, and them, right? Y'all know AMF. They was trying to ride with G Money, you know. Then 4CG, folk on the Glow Gang, the people that fuck with Sosa from out west, they got on AMF ass too. So that's what y'all seeing at the end. The second video with G Money and shit, that's him on the ground. I guess he did what he did with Mainski. They caught him, did what they did with him, and then they took AMF down too. That's what I heard. Now when they say they took them, I don't know what that means. That sound like no, but I don't know though, because I ain't see it with my own eyes. But it's hey man, it sound like AMF might. Not only is they saying AMF got took for the jury, they saying they kidnapped the motherfucker. Like they trying to put him in a Sprinter van. I don't know what they did. They successfully got him in there, but they saying they was trying to put that man in a Sprinter van gang. Like, don't leave them 4CG niggas alone.
Listen, man. That's not what I wanted to do. Bro, they not just taking chains, they taking video directors, bro. They snatching your whole video guy, putting him in the Sprinter. What on earth are we talking about, bro? Try to put him in the Sprinter like Dave. It's crazy. It's a guarantee you won't see Chief Keef let so many people on stage with him in Chicago next time after this. And they're saying if Full Corner Glow wasn't there, Mainski would have got it worse. They're saying I blame Lil G Herbo's fanned out ass. He want to bring all of them over East dudes with him and shit. This ain't your show. This ain't your show. I know he's showing love, and I know Keef F with certain dudes from NLMB, but that ain't his crowd for real. Plus, Keef don't really even like being around too many dudes. They're saying, dog, what are you talking about? All them dudes besides 130 be around Sosa, plus her perform that night too. All right, saying Lil Dos even be with Sosa and Tato in LA, and he's the one who was holding Mainski and snatched the chain and ram. So them dudes be knowing what's up. It's the fans that act like Glow Gang's so innocent and so far removed from this for a fact. Before the get back, Main probably asked Sosa what you want him to do. They're saying that was Los. They're saying dudes love blaming G Herbo. He literally don't got nothing to do with this. He ain't in none of them videos. He in Mainski video at the end walking up. He is actually in that video at the end. So they're saying on what? They tried to put AMF in a trunk, boy. All right. It said Sosa paid Mainski's bond back then, so you know Glow Gang rocking with him. It says Herb, Do What, Mainski, Big Op are all Glow Limit. It says tell me something I don't know already. It says White Sean also lost his chain. It said they put belt to ass for Mainski, literally. One chain cost 3 dudes in a knockout. It's saying 1 chain got took and 3 got put to sleep. Poof, gotta go. 3 gone. That's what they said. That's crazy, all right? So they tried to dollar bill AMF. It said we really be trying to tell guys on here from out west will not hesitate to take shit too far. This is true. People have been saying the west side the craziest. I told you in the last video I did about this, bro. Go and watch my video on Chicago's deadliest neighborhood. Bro, out west is not to be played with. The full corner hustlers, bro, these guys are serious. They're saying it's G Money claiming the boss gang shit. I said they started this. It's his and Bibby's crowd. Herb and them was Jump Out Gang. Who else is part of this boss gang clique? I guess Mainski's crowd was bigger. It's a few of them MFs, Bibby's, his brother, J-Dog, Juvie, and a few other MFs. Herb was the more popping rapper at the time. So, of course, his circle was bigger at that moment. It says, LMAO, damn, they kidnapped AMF. It says, they're saying, where's Quayle when Speedy when you need him, man? You don't need Q50 catching more hats in there. Sosa was probably watching all of that happen with a grin on his face. Nah, I think bro was thinking, this is exactly why I don't come to Chicago. They're saying, on God, dude probably thinking, man, I should have stayed in LA. That's a fact. That's the whole reason he left. Homie's taking homie's chains. My boy probably got PTSD seeing this shit. Definitely had a flashback or two on the way home. On Phonum, he posted he was on a jet going back to LA same night. That was a quick Chicago straight back. All right. I feel like if I ever go to Chicago, it's going to need to be on a private jet too. All right. So anyway, right. So a member of NLMB was also dissing Main after the videos came out. Okay. This was going around. Lil Cap from NLMB speaks on the Summer Smash fight. Dissing 4CG, the Full Corner Glow. He said, hey, he added Main. He said, hey, you know you effed up, right? And then he posted this. I guess this is a car in traffic speeding along. He posted the track, one of them with Von off 1700. So some over east shit. Then he tagged him again and said, Main, you laughing in my DM like you ain't get your kit took. LMFAO at Chief Keef Sosa. What's to them soft ass dudes you be supporting? He said, Glow Limit, if anything. They're saying, is this AI or what? It says, this is why they've been calling them Big Op. They're saying Big Op caught in 4K. I don't know what this is. I don't even know what this is. That's V2 Central, so, you know, we take that with a grain of salt. They're saying Glow Limit versus Four Corner Glow, Battle of the Glow. That's wild. The movie poster would go crazy. Herbo and Big Op on one side, Sosa and Wop on the other side. They're saying, keep this shit away from Keef. Damn, Dirk go to prison and Sosa got Chirac dudes fighting to be in Glow Gang. Goes to show how prison can change hella shit up. It says effed up situation all around them. Out west dudes is some solid dudes too. Shake my head. It says NLMB and Four Corner Glow War probably rising and people going to pick sides between the two. So it'll probably be No Limit versus Muskegon Boys, since some people will pick sides on whatever sides are allied with. The Bloodhound, Shorty Mob, Burly Boys have to pick. So we all know who Shorty Mob and Burly Boys are going with. Any side that's not the Big Op, No Limits, Muskegon Boys side, basically they're not signing with any drenches. They only F with the MBKs and the others because of J Doggy. I said, if it's Glow Limit, will Front Street and Lamron get involved because of Ball Out and Sosa? They said, no, Front Street was there and could have did the same thing as Four Corner Glow, but didn't. They're saying, but Front Street Shorty's already got beef or clicked in with Shorty Mop Ops too. This shit gets real tricky if it goes south. They're saying, word is, Mainski, Doo-Wop and Caper actually squashed it, but the YNs definitely don't F with each other. Saying, only people from Front Street that was there was Caper, Gino, Dre and Murray, and they don't get involved with no beef. Everybody, look. I'm not even going to claim that I know as much of what's going on as Chiracology does, okay? But they tapped in, saying that's Fredo's brother in the red hat, the tall dude in the green hat's from Front Street. He was in Tado's hood vlog. The light-skinned bro in the black hat is Front Street. Fredo's father is literally right there, Front Street. Tado blood brother there with the black hat to the back. Smuck there, he's Fredo's little brother. Blast was there, he from Front Street, but he reps 600. That was Blast him, right? These are all Front Street dudes. Bro, they don't be on the internet, so you don't know, but damn near most of Front Street was there except the YNs. Listen, they got all the info, all right? So what's interesting, okay, you can actually see Mainski with the ripped shirt. He was still walking around after the altercation. That's actually allegedly Mainski after he got jumped the first time and got his shirt ripped. So he out there, shirt off Shorty, like top 5, basically, you know what I'm saying, overseeing the get back, allegedly. Right, so a member, sorry, my bad, I already did that. So you can also actually see Big Op, who was there. Now, he's been getting clowned on social media for his reactions in the video because it looks like he was spooked. And obviously, people been saying Big Op is a big killer. He got all the bodies. Used to go by No Limit Faro. Whoops, that's a big secret. This is A Gang. I'm calling Big Op out to a boxing match. I guarantee I can get a KO in 30 seconds. I would say 15, but I ain't going to be too cocky. If I lose, y'all can kill me. So people are saying he looked kind of spooked, all right? They're saying that's a big opportunity to go to sleep. Now, they've been calling him Big Op, big opportunity. You know what I'm saying? They're saying somebody give Faro a Gen Foul. He ain't had a fight since he was 14. He can shoot, but can he fight? They're saying, I think he ain't know who to help for real. He's saying, if he lose, he's going to try and kill you. Just leave that shit alone. He's saying, I want to die just to prove a point. I can't lie, bro. This is the thing. Like, you know how people be doing death by cop? Sometimes I feel like when I'm depressed, I'll just be thinking I might just go Chirac and just go death by O-Block, bro. Just fuck them. Fuck everybody. Just pull up to Chirac. Fuck everybody. That's how it feels sometimes anyway. But it's like, I just know J-Doggy put paws and feet on, bro. He was seeing stars and shit. So, look, you know, if you don't know the story, allegedly, right, J-Doggy, that older guy who was trying to ban G-Herbo from the hood, allegedly there was a fade between him and Big Op where Big Op got whooped. And then somebody came back. Somebody arrived to the scene with 2 straps and put J-Doggy down in front of everybody, and now he's in the feds. Allegedly Big Op's brother. I'll just tell you that because I know what's going on. Says, yeah, no wonder his ass drench gang, with what I seen, he gets his ass beat by Lil Nas Q50 and even a sober vert. All right, they're saying 14 seconds. Swear to God, in a kickboxing MMA fight, you would destroy his legs so bad he wouldn't walk straight for a couple days. They're saying video clips don't really tell the whole story. Who knows what was going through his head seeing his homies fight each other, probably trying to protect himself while debating who to help. It said, yeah, he was scared to fight J-Dot. For sure, based off his fighting stance. I don't get why this is funny to y'all. Listen, you must be crazy strong to be able to take down a drug addict. Notice. All right, we ain't even doing that. So look, there's more posts going around. They not rocking with Big Op off the back of this, and saying they're about to troll Big Op for doing the chicken dance, squaring up, not throwing a punch. Says, I just know Bands or somebody gonna catch it. Says, I don't expect Big Op to know how to fight. This dude claimed he caught his first body at 14. How he in the set all day and still can't fight? They're saying Band's going to be on IG yelling, screaming, and laughing at shit. Dude gonna troll Dig Op about that nonstop. That man got PTSD thinking of J-Dog and started having a flashback. Oh my God. They're relentless on here, man. It says, this is the most meat riding post I ever seen. None of them dudes know y'all. This shit crazy. I ain't gonna lie. This whole situation is actually insane. So this another one right here, right here. They're saying Big Op was standing there like a child watching his parents fight. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. This is actually, it's too much, bro. It's too much. They're saying he ain't know what to do. But if them dudes got all the smoke for him and Herb, why they ain't do nothing to them? Goes to show you it's only a small group of MFs that really feel some type of way. Let me just change something real quick. Oh no, what have I done? My bad. Need to just change my settings real quick because I'm a little too dark. I was too dark, wasn't I? I was too dark. Now I'm bright. That's too bright. That'll do. They're saying he only tough with the firearm. All right. They're saying shit. It's his big homies. It's like seeing your family fight. Big Op was on the net tweaking on G Money and Bibby after J Dog died. Why White Sean or G Money ain't do nothing to him? He said F Boss Gang before J Dog died too. He said the only thing he did was do the cha-cha and break up the fight. CS88 be killing me sometimes when he calls Big Op a top member. So at this point, we don't actually know for sure what the fight was about. But people on Reddit are making up their theories. They're basically saying this is now a big split between No Limit and the Muskegon Boys. So NLMB was No Limit Muskegon Boys. They were all clicked up together for years. Go and watch the video that I did about the No Limit Muskegon Boys, and you know it goes all the way back. So many of their homies passed away. You know, you were seeing them. This guy called Posto got killed. That's why G Herbo was smoking on Posto. He lost one of his close homies, Kobe. There was just so much. You know, their homie G Fazo that passed away. So many people died on this side, and so many murders back and forth brought the Muskegon Boys and No Limit together to the point where they was known as the NLMB, all one big unit. But now they're saying it's a big split between the No Limit and the Muskegon Boys, and the new generation set. So the youngins of Drench Gang, they're siding with the Muskegon Boys, and Shorty Mob is now siding with No Limit, and they was all clicked up. They're saying it was Four Corner Glow versus No Limit, to be honest, dude. Dude is Four Corner Glow. They knocked out G Money. It says, all this going to do is make it easier for their ops to spin because both cliques got to watch out now for backdoors from their own personal beef. And MF's def going to have to pick sides because J-Dog died behind it. They had their run in the city, though. Herb better stay away from over east. Backdoor shit is free and easy. Said he has to stand on what he said in that interview or else he's going to look goofy or worse, get snaked. So y'all keep saying that it's NL versus MB. Can't really say that because all big op people is MB. Fazo and his brothers from MB. It ain't what y'all think it is. Certain groups don't F with certain groups, but there's still dudes that are related. No Limit dudes are related to Muskegon boys. It will never be 100% split. They're saying, shit, you know how many siblings done killed each other in Chicago? That shit doesn't matter. Dude's got to pick a side. And so what I'm saying is the Muskegon boy dudes killed a No Limit dude that beat up another No Limit dude. And the No Limit dude that died is related to Bibby and them, who is Muskegon boy dudes. So again, it ain't No Limit versus Muskegons. It's circles versus circles. And they're saying dude's going to have to pick a side regardless. I'm telling you, blood's been spilled. They're saying Drench Gang versus / Glow Gang / Four Corner Gang, Glow or Four Corner Hustlers versus Boss Gang. And so what you don't know is the Muskegon boys are the ones who really been putting in work the whole time. So I think it's disrespectful to say it's Muskegon boys versus No Limit. It's too many dudes that died in their war for them to just say FNLMB. It's similar to Taytown and Lamron. They both still claim 300. All of them dudes beefing, that's what it is. Ain't no more Taytown, Lamron, nor NLMB. That's on them. As people saying it's the other way around. So it's people from both No Limit and Muskegon boys beefing with each other. So it's not really a No Limit versus Muskegon boys thing anymore. They're saying it's Shorty Mob, MB versus No Limit Drench Gang. Yeah, we get that. We get the gist, right? So there's kind of more posts sharing this sentiment over on Reddit. It's getting interesting. They're saying G Money and Bibby brother White Sean from No Limit was also part of the fight. Oh yeah, that No Limit Muskegon boy shit is over with. They're saying he punched on Mainsky too in the first video when Mainsky tried running at G Money. They said No Limit NLMB is no longer my brothers. They're saying it's death over with. This little scrimmage drunk fight shit being on camera and video going to make it hard for dudes to squash it too much. Squash it because there's too much pride. Plus J-Dog is really dead. Certain dudes ain't never letting that go. It's too late. This shit was inevitable. Plus dudes on both sides been needing and waiting for a reason to really take it there and start something. It's just NLMB got so many ops, they're in a lose-lose situation. MFs ain't have to kill J-Dog. I knew it was over with since then. Clicks don't last forever in the rack, and we've seen this too many times. Y'all know how this go. Says y'all saying NLMB is over with when it ain't NL No Limit versus Muskegon boys. It's certain clicks in both hoods. Herb, Wop, Drench, and Mainsky all No Limit and still cool with Muskegon boys while beefing with other dudes from No Limit. Says y'all keep saying it's No Limit versus Muskegons. You can't say that because all big ops people is Muskegon boys. Fazo and his brothers from Muskegon. It ain't what you think it is. It's certain groups don't mess with certain groups, but dudes are related. It will never be 100% split. They're saying I wonder how G Gil and Rel feels about this, although Gil got big old things to worry about. They're saying dudes have fights with brothers every day. Are you serious? The man's getting punched up. No way I'm shaking your hand after that. All right, and that second fight was vicious. So yeah, they're saying this how it goes in the hood. All right, that dude ain't do shit. He watched his brother. He stood there and watched him knock out his brother and stomp him out. Said you ain't seen him come flying in after G Money went down. Might have saved his bro's life for real. And then they're saying he got his chain snatched after that. So here's the thing. On top of everything else, there's now a third video going around. And I'm going to be careful what I show you here. Hopefully I don't. All right. So there's now a third video going around, which seems to show Mainsky telling security that someone took his chain. And a lot of people are saying, does this count as snitching? Because this is after he got his chain snatched. Now, to be fair, I'm not the arbiter on snitching. I'm a civilian, all right? I'm a civilian. I'm a bitch. I'm a hoe ass, whatever you want to call me, okay? But they're saying those are the authorities. Let's be real. Like, telling festival security you got your chain snatched so you can go back into a section ain't the same as telling cops that you got robbed. He telling them he got his chain snatched because he wants to get back in there and get busy, not because he wants to snitch on them. And these ain't cops. These ain't got the authority to do shit. These are arguably dudes from other blocks in Chirac. They getting a little paycheck. They work in a festival job on their spare time. These could be street dudes, low key. So I ain't thinking they're snitching. But now, because they ain't really get the things happening the way that they could, and you know what I'm saying, because Mainsky got his lick back, now they're trying to put the snitching jacket on him.
He's trying to take my chain. You sound like the police. Look at this police ass.
Back up a little bit.
Yeah. So I don't think that's snitching. People saying, my grandma gave me that chain. He said, oh yeah, it's over. Dude's about to choose sides and blood is about to be shed. This is exactly how every Chicago war started or starts. Two different gangs that was once called split and go to war with each other. We really just watched this shit in real time. NLMB seems so strong and tight-knit for so many years. Every good thing comes to an end. This was bound to happen with money and fame involved, right? Internal wars are about to kick off. It is what it is. So look, that's all the info that I have on this now. It was a big update for you guys. I will keep you guys updated if I hear anything else, but it is very sad to see. If you want more information about all the backstory, go to my main channel, Trap Law Ross, and watch the No Limit documentary that I did a few years. It's one of the biggest videos that I did. Very interesting and useful breakdown. It's very worth checking out. So go and check that out if you haven't. I appreciate you guys watching this one. And for now, I'm out. I'll be back with some more videos soon. Peace.